there's one thing that everyone missed when it comes to the new Apple Vision Pro. Let's talk about it. So, everyone is talking about the fact that really the M5 isn't a massive increase. That the strap is better, but I mean, it's not a massive improvement. And the overall, really, this isn't a massive improvement on what we currently have. And I would disagree with a lot of those points for the fact that actually the M5 is a big increase compared to the M2. But I do understand what people are saying. That, they're not seeing this massive push. However, this is the point I wanted to talk about. Because actually, up until about 2 weeks ago, there was numerous rumours that Apple had completely given up on the Vision Pro. And that they were not going to be making another Vision Pro for a while. And that they were going to go down the road of what Meta has gone down, where they're concentrating on AR glasses. And I think this is where the thing that I think everyone missed is the fact that they haven't done that. That they have actually released a new version of the Vision Pro that no one expected. No one expected Apple to do this. They didn't really have to. I mean, let's face it, the Vision Pro is probably the best headset when it comes to spec. Yes, it comes with a very hefty price tag, and the new one is nothing different. And I didn't expect it to be any different. I thought if they were going to release a Vision Air, that you might get a cheaper price. But there was potential that they'd just keep the Air at that price and then raise the Pro price. I couldn't have seen them doing that. I would have expected it to be more like the 2,000 to 2,500 mark for the Air, because that's what they like to do. They like to do the ladder pricing, don't they, where it goes up like, 250, 500, that type of thing, especially when it comes to a headset that's that expensive. But my main focus, and the focus of this video, is Apple have not shown any signs that they are stopping making VR headsets. In fact, if anything, they're making more headsets, and I know I covered this in yesterday's video, but they're making more headsets than Meta have done in the last few years. Yes, it is only a revised version, but, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they fixed the head strap, which, let's face it, probably wasn't good enough, even though it did look really cool. And they've increased the actual capacity that the headset can handle, which Meta have not done for 2 years. And I don't think Meta know how to do that for the fact that they don't make the chips. I think it's going to be very interesting on the 22nd when Samsung release their next headset. Oh, well, not next headset. Well, yeah, it is technically next headset, isn't it? They already have had a headset out, and then they sort of stopped. And they actually stopped. Do you know what I mean? They took a long break from making a VR headset, which, let's face it, wasn't a proper true VR headset. It was a phone that you shoved in the side. So I think we really have to give Apple some massive credit here for the fact that they have continued to make headsets. And I think next year we'll probably see a similar thing. They like to release things year on, and for the fact that they've released it with the M5 chip, they didn't go for the M4, which they could have done. They have put their latest processor in the headset. They could have done an M4. That would have been seen as an improvement, very similar to what Meta have done with their headsets, where it's just the XR1, XR2 chip. And like I say, with the Quest 3S, they didn't even put a new chip in. They actually made a Wersa headset, which I still find hilarious. And the S would suggest, slim or super, or, something that suggests the headset is better when actually it's worse. It's like stupid, maybe should have been what it actually should have been called. So, I just think it's a win for VR. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I think that Apple staying in the VR game, I know they don't like to associate themselves with VR, but let's face it, it's a VR headset. I know they're calling themselves spatial computing, which means this thing is going to be able to do that. It's got all the same power, or I mean, you know, it's got a very similar power to at least the MacBook Air. So there's nothing stopping you from being able to actually, you know, work in this thing, watch movies in this thing, and let's face it, watching movies in the Vision Pro is better than the Quest at this current point in time, until, you know, Quest get their Disney Plus 3D stuff. I've seen a lot of people do videos on the fact that you can watch 3D or you can watch movies on the Quest, and you can, but it's not exactly easy. You need a DVD rewriter to actually, or I suppose you could technically. There's ways around it, isn't there? But that's a different story, a different video. And yeah, we can talk about the spec. The spec is probably the best spec headset. We might see something from Samsung next week that competes, and it's going to be running Android OS, or Android XR OS, which isn't Meta's. So we're going to actually see two headsets in the next 2 weeks that aren't running a Meta clone. So exciting times. Let me know in the comments down below what you think for the fact that Apple are still doing this. We haven't even seen any Apple AR glasses. They won't do it until they feel as though it's ready. Whereas I can't say that about Meta. The glasses are good. I haven't experienced the display. I can't tell you whether that looks good or not. The battery life, it's a tough one. I can't imagine it lasts. Well, I won't say much more than that. I can't imagine it lasts longer than a few hours at best. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye.